The oceans are fundamental to the livelihoods of millions of South Africans. However, increased interest in deep-sea oil and gas drilling puts the oceans and the communities that depend on them at risk. Furthermore, the very communities which are most affected by these projects are often left out of the conversation altogether. We reached out to Professor Mel Soman, the head of Department of Environmental and Geographical Sciences at UCT, and a member of the One Oceans Hub research team, to discuss the limitations of the current laws and how they fail to protect the welfare of coastal communities.
So the National Environmental Management Act is very clear about the requirement to ensure meaningful participation of all people in decisions that affect them, and requires particular attention to disadvantaged communities and ensure that measures are put in place so that they can participate effectively. There are many examples where local communities have not been aware of proposals to undertake an activity and various kinds of development in their areas, or where a particular activity might have an impact on their livelihoods. This could be a proposal for mine prospecting, oil and gas exploration, mariculture and/or tourism development, and many others. Often NGOs and researchers working in the area may alert communities about a particular proposal, but very often communities only learn about these proposals when the process is completed and/or when construction begins.
Good day, I'm the community coordinator Neville van Roy from the Green Connection. So I work with communities around the coastal towns. Mossel Bay was one of such communities that I spoke to, and the people on the ground really was not informed or ill-informed. And the majority of the communities on the ground were totally not informed about this development coming into their surrounding areas.
I looked through their environmental impact assessment. Most people want this kind of development because of the jobs. What the biggest problem is that there really are very few jobs, particularly for those communities that really need them. And it's not me saying that, it's the environmental impact assessment itself, which said that most of the jobs would be for highly skilled people who are used to working on oil rigs. That is not even taking into consideration that those jobs would be of a temporary nature, and there may even be job losses within the tourism industry. In fact, if you were to add up the gains and the losses in terms of jobs, people will lose jobs.
I think one of the most important things is community level organization. If local communities are organized and they meet on a regular basis, and there is a chairperson and a committee that's in place, and this can provide a forum where various issues can be discussed, I think that would be an important step towards improving information flow in the community around potential projects and plans for that particular area. Of course, these local level organizations, whether it's a fishing cooperative or a resource committee or some such local level organization, often lack capacity and resources, and they may need to reach out to NGOs or other organizations that work in the area to help link them to information about these proposed developments and how they might engage with the public participation process. Of course, this should be the task of the consultants, but very often communities are going to have to be proactive to make sure that their issues and concerns can be integrated into these processes. Where communities are aware of a development proposal and wish to be involved, but cannot, for example, attend the meetings that have been set up, maybe they're too far away, or maybe they're not face-to-face and they're online and they're not able to get access to the internet, they have every right to contact the consultant or the applicant, perhaps it's the mining company, and request an alternative method of engagement. They can also request summaries of the project description, the EIA process, the public participation process, and the EIA findings in their own language. I think what we need to realize is sometimes these local level organizations may need training and capacity development in order to function effectively, and therefore they need to reach out to local government or to local NGOs working in the area to provide resources to assist them with this.
The EIA process is not meant to put communities at a disadvantage before the law, but rather to allow for concerned voices to be heard before a project can proceed. Weighing up the environmental costs and benefits helps ensure that nobody is disproportionately affected by proposed activities. For more information, contact the Green Connection at www.thegreenconnection.org.za.